Welcome everybody to another episode of FYC Film Review. I'm your host Gagne. With me, my partner Naldo. How are you, buddy?
What's up, man? How's it going, everybody?
Welcome to another show, man. I'm ready to dive into what do we have for the folks to consider today.
Okay, we got another recommendation. And this was the Lunchbox. It came out in I don't know the year it came out. I think it was 2018. I could be wrong. And it's a runtime of an hour and 45 minutes, and it's rated PG. It's our first Indian romantic drama movie that we've done. We've done a lot of action. We did the horror movie Toombad. We did the dark comedy Andhadhun, which was fantastic, by the way. Did you like it? What did you think of it?
I did like it. I got you on the 2013 is when the movie came out,
2013.
so
Okay.
I didn't write down either. Had to look that up. I did like it. From the get-go, I found there to be this like subtle charm and a longing for more of, as the story went along. It kind of pulled me into it. Just the world building around the woman making this lunch and the ant that lives above her and the system that she had to pass spices and recipes back and forth. And so I'm a sucker for films about food and the passion behind food and things like Ratatouille and Burnt, and just I get drawn into that because it's just it's such a way to people's hearts, and it's such an integral part of our life that I've started to fall in love with it from the get-go. Irrfan Khan, the main character, rest in peace, great actor and really good in this. I love the running time. An hour and 45 minutes, honestly, is the sweet spot, man. If you can tell a good story in that time, I'm in. Most of the time, I look at that runtime and go, yeah, let's do it. And yeah, there was just like this melancholy subtleness to the movie that I thought was kind of beautiful. And there were some great quotes in it as well. And so I'll let you, give me some things that you liked.
Okay. Listen, I can appreciate a lot of movies, and I appreciate this recommendation. This movie just felt a little flat for me. I can appreciate the delivery system, the lunchbox system that India has. So it's really neat how they came up with this system, which almost is it like DoorDash? I mean, it is right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It seems like.
Forgive me for all the stupid questions, people, but is it like DoorDash? And the other, I understand that they were trying to help each other out because the wife, she was lonely, had a kid, her husband wasn't there for her. In fact, I think he was having an affair. And then the guy on the other end, he was a widow, he was about to retire, he just almost had nothing going for him. I mean, I can appreciate how they're trying to come together and help each other out. I really do. But other than that, I don't know, man. I wanted something to happen in this movie, and I'll save my gripes for after you, for what you didn't like about, because I don't feel like I don't have a lot of good things about this movie. The actors was great. I think she was really great. I think he's a good actor. I just, for some reason, this one just didn't affect me at all in any way.
Yeah, the meet cute of the story is that she sends the wrong lunch, or the wrong lunch gets delivered to this man, and she wants to know why the food is gone. Like, basically he had cleaned the dishes, the food was so good, and so she slipped the first note, right? And I wanted, more than anything, what I didn't like was that they didn't meet in the movie. I wanted that interaction. I wanted to see where it could have potentially led to. Other than that, I don't really have a lot of notes because I liked how they wrapped it up. I liked that there is this coming back together. Like, he comes back to the city and
she's gone,
but she's seeking him out. They're both seeking each other out at the end, and that's ultimately, like, you're hoping, you're putting together, that they are going to meet up eventually. I just wish it would have happened in the movie.
Yeah. And okay, I don't need my movies to always wrap up with a nice bow. I don't. But for some reason, I needed this to wrap up in a nice bow because nothing happened. They were passing notes to each other. He got the lunch and he sent it back. Sometimes he didn't get a lunch because she was mad at him. He stood her up. He got a note. She got a note. Let's read a note. Let's read a note. Listen.
Redundant. Okay.
Make something happen. give me a happy ending in this movie, because there was nothing happening. There was nothing to it. Then we have this other story about his coworker, which is a bit more interesting. I think that was a bit more interesting to me, with his coworker and how he was helping him out. And he didn't want to help him out, and it was kind of a weird thing. And he was getting married, and he didn't have any family, so he became his best man.
I thought that was adorable.
Yeah, it was fun, and I thought I was more intrigued with that part of the movie, because there was nothing happening with this man and this woman. There was a lot of back and forth, and it's like almost like You Got Mail. I think we talked about it's like You Got Mail, but at least in You Got Mail, they meet at the end. Is that how it works? Right? They meet at the end? They meet at the end, right?
I think so.
And this one,
you assume they meet at the end in this one. I mean, I guess that's
no. I don't even think this.
He's searching for her at the end of this movie. He's on the train with the delivery people, right? To find where she is, basically. And that's why he's heading back to the city. That's my interpretation. And again, I think I like that subtleness, that it allows you this open interpretation to think what could have been or what could be. And so,
but nothing. There was, I get what you're saying.
Nothing in it.
Yeah, there was nothing in it. Nothing in it. I mean, it was cute at first, going back and forth. You got the wrong lunchbox, and then that was just a lot of it going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I was like, something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. And all of a sudden, we got the credits rolling. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? That's where we're ending it. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate the delivery system. And here's another question, a really dumb question, and I'm asking it. I'm really asking this to people out there. Why couldn't she just give her husband the lunch when he goes to work? That's a real question. I'm just being honest. Why can't she just give her husband the lunch right when he goes to work, and then he can heat it up when he gets to work? Hey, I'm just asking questions here. I'm not trying to be.
I'm hoping there is an answer now, because I didn't think about that when I was watching the movie, and now I'm kind of like, well, that would make sense. But is there something where it has to go through? Maybe he's fed by his work, and it has to. I don't know, man.
Well,
don't ruin what I thought was a sweet romantic movie for me.
No, and it could be the other thing. It could be that they just want their hot lunch right away. It doesn't need to be heated up, right? They get to them on time. It's still warm. It's still piping hot, freshly made. No need to heat it up, right?
Sure.
Because we know when you got to heat up food, it's not exactly the same. So, is it because they don't have to heat it up? Somebody answer that question, please, because it's a genuine question. Like, why can't she just give him the lunch when her husband goes to work?
Interesting. No microwaves, no break rooms.
Are you kidding me?
I'm at a loss, man. I don't have an answer for that, but I did still think it was a very sweet and romantic movie.
Sure.
If for not them meeting.
Okay. All right. Let's rate it.
Let's do it. All right. Since we're talking about so many lunchbox meet cutes, we're going to go with how many lunches.
Love it.
There were lots of them in the movie. So how many lunches are we going to give this movie? I'm going to go first. I thought this was strong. I thought the performance was strong. Like I said, there's this melancholy feeling. I enjoyed the aspect of two people writing notes back and forth to each other and discussing observations in their day, and then taking that observation in and then coming up with something right back. We don't do that anymore. We don't write notes. Even his friend mentions, we're in the email world. So I like that sweetness to it. And so I'm going with 4 lunches.
4 lunches.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay, out of 5 lunches, that is a high score. That is a high score, my friend. Lunch. Okay, all right. On a scale of 1 to 5, I'm gonna go with 2.5 lunches. For me, just 2.5 lunches. Nothing happened for me in this movie. It was too subtle. I liked like the first 30 minutes of the movie. I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. But then from there on, nothing really happened. Listen, these are just opinions. I'm not saying I'm right or I'm wrong, but it's just my opinion.
It's your feeling on it.
Yeah, it's just 2.5 for me. Sorry.
Don't apologize. It is what it is, man. Nothing else to say. I mean, we had some lunch, we disagreed, and we'll move on to the next one. We always appreciate the recommendation, though, and keep them coming. We appreciate you tuning in. This has been FYC Film Review. I'm your host, Ganya, and with me, my partner, Naldo.
You know what we'd like? We'd like another dark comedy like Onda Dune. That's what I want to see. Another dark comedy. So if you guys know another dark comedy, let us know, please. So that's it.
And a hot lunch sent to my work.
Have your wife just make it for you and give it to you before you leave, man.
I'll
All
work
right,
on that.
we're done. We're out.
All right.
Have a good one, everybody.